Welcome back, my friends. It is July 9th, 2020, 5:54 p.m. Shout out to Canada. We are looking at the east coast of the United States right now, the outer banks of the Carolinas, and we are looking at what has now just been named Tropical Storm Fay. Letter F, our sixth named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. This is the first time since we started recording storms and storm names that we are at this number of storms this early in the year. It is July 9th, and we are already on the sixth storm. If we take a look at Wikipedia and the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season, we can clearly see that we had Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly, Edouard, and now Fay. Edouard and Dolly came and went pretty quickly. We're both tropical storms. This one's a bit different, guys, because this thing is right on the edge of the East Coast, right by the Carolinas, already causing some issues there. There are tropical storm warnings as far east as, what parts? We got southern New England involved in there. Obviously, the Chesapeake Bay, southern New Jersey as of right now. Now, you have some time before this starts affecting the areas on the coast there, but nonetheless, this is a tropical storm, guys. And once these things get to tropical storm level, they have the potential to become Category 1 storms. Now, if we look at the Saffir-Simpson scale really quick, we can see that we reach Category 1 in strength once that storm reaches 74 miles per hour as a sustained wind. Right now, we're closer to 40, 45. That's what puts it from a tropical depression to a tropical storm, which is the one level below a Category 1 storm. Now, does this thing have the potential to become a Category 1? Of course it does, as long as the center area of the storm, which seems to be about right here, stays over water. Now, we do know as this storm moves north towards the southern end of New Jersey here, it will hit cooler water, and chances are it will not get past that Category 1. A lot of times we need the momentum of the entire ocean in a way for those storms to become Category 5s, and in rare cases we see those storms form down in this area, and they don't have too much space to really grow. And as far as timing, this is what we can expect as of right now, as of the 5 p.m. update, which you see right here. This is currently where Fay is right now, and now we can see the S's here. That means storm. That means it is predicted to stay as a tropical storm and then move into a depression once it gets over land. Now, that doesn't mean that's exactly what's going to happen. This thing may stay as is. Chances are it will get a bit stronger. So we're looking around between now and 2 p.m. Friday. We could see some strengthening, and then we might have the landfall, which is the center of the storm actually coming over land. Once that happens, we know these storms get a little weaker, but because of the area this storm is in, we might be dealing with a nor'easter situation, which can affect the entire Northeast based on the size of the storm. It's pretty wide, to say the least. Now, let's check this out, too. Back here on the infrared loop, we can see we're starting to get that bit of counterclockwise spin. Those are the signs you start to see once it moves from a tropical depression into a tropical storm and then receives its name. We can see some of those bands already following the momentum of where the storm's going to go up into Chesapeake Bay, exactly what we were just talking about, mostly over Delaware and then southern New Jersey, and the next 8 or so hours are really going to have to be on their toes about this storm. If we take a look back at the last 18 or so hours up until recent time, we can see this big system up in the middle of the country that we actually covered a couple days ago. What I want you to pay attention to here is not only Fay here on the East Coast, but then I want you to watch the moisture being pulled down through the Gulf over basically the center of Florida, back out into the Atlantic Ocean, and then getting swirled up into Fay. So I want you to see how the entire country is basically aiding to this storm as far as moisture goes. Not that it needs it. A lot of this moisture is coming from the Gulf, but we can see how that momentum is starting to pull this weather from the center of the country down into the Gulf. We could see here, and then it kind of swoops down and up. That momentum is going to continue, and this storm is going to continue to get fueled. So a lot of different weather channels are having different ideas of where this thing is going to go. No surprise there. I'll show you some of the spaghetti plots that we have as of right now. All right, and as we open this up, we can kind of see, for those of you that have been following this storm, which has been, on the radar for a few days now, we can see a lot of these spaghetti plots kind of tightening together. We got one over here that kind of brings it out into the ocean some more, which could be a bad thing. I mean, like I said, the water is cooler here, so that does tend in weakening these types of storms. But this thing, for the most part, wants to shoot straight up into the Northeast, southeast New York. We're talking southern Jersey, definitely Long Island, the entire island of Long Island, which is an extension of New York, is definitely under tropical storm watch. Sorry about the audio there, guys. I think I got it fixed up a little bit. If not, it will be by next video. But as I was saying, yes, so we have Long Island, southern New Jersey, obviously, and then we have Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and then southeastern New York as well. As we can see here on the county-by-county chart I switched to, this area here in the burgundy red is obviously the tropical storm warnings, and then we have rain and flood advisories for all the northeast states. So this is definitely something to keep our eyes on, guys. Now, a little bit more with the stats that we have as of right now for this storm. If I can get to it, there we go. So like I said, 40 knots as far as wind speed goes. Once this thing reaches 74 miles per hour, we could call this a Category 1 storm. We do not know if that's going to happen yet. Nonetheless, this is a tropical storm. They are named for a reason. They are followed by the weather channels for a reason. This is a significant storm, especially the placement of this storm. We don't get a lot of storms that form in this area, but when they do, we certainly know about it. That's what this channel's for. We also have Christina, Tropical Storm Christina, down in the Pacific, which we will talk about in a separate video. Our pressure, as far as the barometric pressure right now for this storm, is 1,005. Once we get below 900, that's when things get really, really tacky when it comes to what these storms can produce as far as rain and storm surge and things like that. With the based path on this storm going straight up to New Jersey, we probably won't have to worry about storm surge until we get to that point. The storm may be stronger. It may be very similar to what it is now, but nonetheless, even if the storm were to make landfall as of right now, as it is in Jersey or any of the surrounding areas, it definitely will be a storm to watch out for and something you want to prepare for. I will be updating on this storm pretty consistently. I want you to check out the water vapor chart here, guys, and I want you to notice something right now, that most of the water, or at least the heavy rain with this storm, is still over the ocean. Again, that is good and it's bad. It's good because it's not over us, but it's bad because this storm, the central area of the storm, is going to be over water soon, which means it has the potential to get stronger. The deeper the whites you see, the harder the rain is. We can see little pop-up storms coming due to that current that's being pulled across Florida and the southeastern states and then back into the Atlantic, which is aiding in Fay growing at this point. So once again, for those of you that don't know, the Saffir-Simpson scale is how we measure our hurricanes in the Atlantic Ocean. Right now we are a tropical storm, so we have not reached any of these levels yet. Our next level would be a Category 1, which would be 74 to 65 miles per hour or 64 to 82 knots, depending on where you live in the world. All right, guys, with that said, again, 6th named storm of the season, the most storms we've ever had by this time of the year since we started recording weather, guys. Definitely something to look out for. I hope everyone's safe. I appreciate you sticking around to watch the channel. I will be updating as we need to do so with this storm. Thank you guys so much for being around, and I will be back soon. Take care. Bye-bye.